the search for love. Who among us has not been there, in that emotional labyrinth, swiping frantically, hoping for a match that makes us feel complete? Hope and disappointment pull us like waves on the shore of our lives. And of course, the heartbreak, those moments when the love we pursue seems to vanish before our eyes, leaving us wondering if we are searching for something that will never come. But today, I want to tell you a different story, a wiser perspective on love, one not found in swiping screens or waiting for text messages. It's a perspective discovered within yourself, ready to be uncovered in the world of philosophy, especially in Stoicism. I found guidance in Stoicism that helped me understand why desperately pursuing love can be a path full of obstacles and suffering. This philosophy values self-discipline, authenticity, and self-reflection. Through Stoic practices, I learned to look inward instead of seeking external compliments or solutions to my self-esteem and confidence issues. I discovered that love, in its most authentic form, is not found in another person but within oneself. Thus, a perspective was born, one that I want to share with you today. It is natural to desire love and to feel loved in our lives, but often, we fall into the illusion that love is the magical solution to all our problems. We convince ourselves that finding someone special will fill us with joy, liberate us from worries, and grant us the sought-after peace. We cling to the belief that love is the master key that will open the doors to a fulfilling life, as dictated by societal standards. The pressure to have that special someone in your life is constant, seen in friendships, on television, and in social media. Yet even in romantic relationships, challenges and struggles persist. Idealized expectations can lead to disappointment, and we may find ourselves searching for love even when we are already in a relationship. As the Stoics teach us, it is not reality that disturbs us, but our opinions and expectations about reality. The illusion of love as a solution to our problems makes us believe that someone else can be responsible for our happiness. However, as Epictetus wisely said, don't seek for everything to happen as you wish it would, but rather wish that everything happens as it actually will. Then your life will flow well. True Stoic. Wisdom reminds us that love is a valuable component in our lives, but not the answer to all our dilemmas or conflicts. Lasting happiness comes from disciplining oneself, genuine authenticity, and self-reflection. Almost all of us have experienced being physically present but mentally trapped in the past or worried about the future. Practicing living in the present is like returning to the here and now, directing your attention to where life truly happens. The present moment is a precious gift, often underestimated and undervalued. We cannot change the past, and the future is uncertain, but the present, the here and now, is where we have the power to act and make decisions. Practicing presence allows us to savor every moment of our lives fully, even the small pleasures. Living in the present enriches our experiences. Food tastes better, laughter is more genuine, and moments become invaluable. The importance of living in the present is evident in our relationships, especially in the search for authentic love. How can we build meaningful connections if our minds are elsewhere? Living in the present means being strong in the face of daily challenges and authentic in every interaction. It's not about acting, but being real and sincere in your relationships. In summary, the undeniable importance of living in the present becomes apparent as you continue your quest for love. Remember that happiness is not found in the past or the future, but in the richness of the now. Have you ever felt trapped in a repetitive dynamic in your relationships? Perhaps you've asked yourself, why can't I find love? Why did my relationship end even when I did everything right? In this journey of self-discovery, I want to talk to you about the value of personal growth and how it can transform your perspective on the search for love. Often we seek love from a position of need, believing that someone else will complete our lives. Yet, as the Stoics remind us, no one is free who has not liberated themselves. The path of personal growth is a path of strength, facing and overcoming obstacles. As Seneca said, there is no favorable wind for the sailor who doesn't know where to go. The value of personal growth becomes evident when we confront our fears, take risks, and choose the path of greatest difficulty. Through personal growth, we can overcome fears, embrace imperfections, and build relationships based on authenticity and effective communication. Let's talk about a powerful tool that can completely change your approach to the search for love: self-reflection. On the path to authentic love, self-reflection is fundamental. Looking inward, not just sitting in silence with a blank mind, but immersing deeply into your thoughts and emotions. It's a conscious introspection that allows you to explore your inner self for answers. By examining your thoughts and emotions, you can discover harmful patterns repeating in your relationships. Self-reflection helps you face these damaging patterns, delve into the roots of your fears and concerns, and understand why they persist. The magic of self-reflection is not just in identifying problems, but also in providing tools for change. You can work on your weaknesses, cultivate your virtues, and improve your relationships. Self-reflection is a compass guiding you toward healthier relationships. As you get to know yourself better, you become more aware of what you truly desire in a partner and what you're willing to contribute to the relationship. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, "Put your heart, mind, and soul into even your smallest acts. This is the secret of success." Enjoy the peace that follows self-reflection. It's not just work. It's the path to inner peace and more authentic relationships. Being a man from a Stoic perspective means embracing the value of personal growth, developing indestructible discipline and resilience. It teaches us that being a complete man involves the constant commitment to improve and grow, not seeking externally what we already have within ourselves. When we seek love from a place of inner strength and self-acceptance, we create stronger and more meaningful relationships. The need to be accepted, loved, and validated is a reality in the society we live in, driven by social media, entertainment, and external expectations. We have been taught that to be loved, we must first meet certain beauty standards. At a certain height, we behave in a certain way, and even in how we dress to be accepted. We are told that we must succeed and be very popular, or else we will die alone and empty. Social expectations lead us to tirelessly pursue love, often losing sight of something crucial within us: self-acceptance. From a Stoic perspective, self-acceptance becomes the pillar of inner tranquility. As Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, wisely expressed, "Life is short, and we all carry what we carry equally. The one who possesses the most is the one who is most content with what they have." This reflection brings us to a crucial point in this journey. Often, our desperate pursuit of love and external acceptance distances us from tranquility, constantly comparing ourselves with others, driving us to pursue unattainable standards and filling us with anxiety for not being good enough. Self-acceptance, according to the Stoics, is the act of embracing who we are with all our virtues and flaws. It is freeing oneself from the need for external validation and finding peace in self-acceptance. In a world obsessed with comparison and the constant pursuit of more, Stoic philosophy invites us to find richness in accepting what we already have. Self-acceptance allows us to savor life to its fullest, as Seneca's quote reminds us, to find deep reflection in the search for love. We often forget the importance of being content with who we are in this moment. This phrase reminds us that true wealth is not found in being validated and accepted by others or in material possessions. True wealth lies in being content with our authenticity and living in harmony with ourselves. By accepting ourselves, we release the emotional burden of external validation. This is the essence of why you should not pursue love but seek self-acceptance before seeking external acceptance. Self-acceptance is not a denial of personal improvement but a solid foundation for it. As we accept our imperfections, we realize that authentic love does not require perfection. Self-acceptance allows us to be vulnerable, communicate genuinely, and build meaningful relationships based on authenticity. As Marcus Aurelius said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence on the future." Independence, an essential value in Stoic reflections, is crucial in the pursuit of authentic love. Often in our quest for love, we can fall into the trap of losing our independence, focusing so much on finding someone to complement us, forgetting what makes us unique. From a Stoic perspective, this emotional dependence is a pattern of behavior we must avoid. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, we must be willing to change our habits if we see ourselves as dependent individuals. Independence is a reflection of self-esteem and self-acceptance. When we commit to our passions, projects, and personal growth, we become more attractive to potential partners. Independence does not mean isolating yourself from others, but finding a balance. You can enjoy the company of others without losing your emotional autonomy. Independence is an act of self-love and respect for yourself. In the pursuit of love, maintaining your independence is key. If you are a complete person by yourself, you do not seek love as a solution to your insecurities. From a Stoic and masculine perspective, independence is a display of strength and self-control. As Seneca said, "True freedom is the independence of the mind." This statement invites us to reflect deeply on what it means to have an independent mind. In the Stoic context, it is about freeing ourselves from the slavery of passions, desires, and attachments. Independence of the mind implies not allowing emotions and thoughts to dominate our will. As Stoics, we work to free ourselves from emotional slavery to own our minds and ultimately, our lives. To maintain emotional independence from a Stoic perspective, I present two fundamental practices in our quest for love: meditation and mindfulness. Meditation becomes a powerful tool to maintain emotional independence from a Stoic and masculine perspective. Meditation helps us find balance amid the turbulent waters of relationships. It trains us to be present in the moment, to observe our thoughts and emotions without being swept away by them. As Seneca advised, meditation teaches us to manage our emotions and find serenity in the midst of chaos. Stoics believe that meditation allows us to recognize that our emotional reactions are automatic responses and that we have the power to choose how to respond. As Stoic men, this gives us a profound sense of control over our emotions and actions. Mindfulness is another crucial practice in the pursuit of authentic love from a Stoic perspective. Mindfulness allows us to maintain emotional independence by being fully present in our relationships. Mindfulness involves active listening, being present in conversations, and being aware of our emotional reactions. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that self-control is achieved through mindfulness. This practice enables us to recognize our automatic reactions and, instead of reacting impulsively, make conscious decisions. From a Stoic perspective, these two practices, meditation and mindfulness, are fundamental to maintaining emotional independence and not pursuing love that will ultimately cause us more pain. From a Stoic and masculine standpoint, these practices provide self-control, serenity, and mental clarity necessary to face emotional challenges and make conscious decisions in our relationships. In summary, the importance of maintaining your independence should not be underestimated. You should not pursue love to fill your voids. Instead, you should find someone who values your independence and complements your life. Communication is the cornerstone of our relationships. However, we often find ourselves caught in a whirlwind of misunderstandings, useless arguments, and meaningless words. Words can build or destroy, and from a Stoic and wiser perspective, we will explore why effective communication is so important to improve our relationships. The Stoics teach us that effective communication is an art. It is about listening more than speaking, understanding more than imposing opinions. As Epictetus said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." From a Stoic perspective, effective communication involves being authentic with what we say and being honest when expressing our thoughts or giving an opinion. It is not about saying what others want to hear, but expressing your thoughts and feelings clearly and respectfully. Patience is a fundamental pillar from a Stoic perspective in the pursuit of authentic love. The Stoics teach us that love is not something we can force or rush. Instead of desperately seeking love, we practice patience, knowing that time is an ally. Stoic patience involves resisting the temptation of impatience, frustration, or anxiety. Instead of seeing time as an enemy, we embrace it as a teacher from which to cultivate wisdom. From a Stoic perspective, patience also allows us to develop the inner strength to face loneliness, rejection, and uncertainty in the pursuit of love. Stoic patience reminds us that authentic love is a process not governed by a calendar. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Nothing happens to anyone that he can't endure." The The same thing happens to other people, and they endure it. The development of Stoic pillars of patience and empathy highlights their importance in how they can enrich our relationships. From a philosophical perspective, effective communication strengthens our relationships and brings us closer to authentic love. It allows us to be vulnerable and share our desires, fears, and dreams. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, the secret of all victories lies in the organization of the non-obvious. Trying to please everyone is, from a Stoic perspective, an invitation to reflect on why pursuing love and approval from others can cause even more pain. In our eagerness to please everyone, we often end up sacrificing our authenticity and our own needs. The Stoics teach us that instead of seeking external acceptance, we should focus on building our inner strength and finding love within ourselves. Relentlessly pursuing love can lead to relationships based on unrealistic expectations and often causes us to neglect our own identity. The Stoics remind us that we cannot control the emotions, decisions, and actions of others, but we can control how we respond to them. The desperate pursuit of love can become a cycle of disappointments, as trying to please everyone often makes us lose sight of what is truly important to us. Instead, Stoicism calls us to focus on our actions, to be the best version of ourselves, and to cultivate relationships based on sincerity and mutual respect. Understanding that external acceptance is not the key to happiness frees us from the need to pursue love anxiously. Instead, we find inner peace and serenity that allows us to appreciate relationships in their broader context. Stoic philosophy teaches that true emotional wealth comes from authenticity, patience, and understanding our own needs and those of others. So, instead of trying to please everyone in the search for love, let's focus on pleasing ourselves, being authentic, and building relationships based on mutual respect and understanding. Ultimately, this is the key to discovering authentic and meaningful love that flourishes from within and is not desperately sought from the outside. In today's world, it is common to see people trying to fit into predefined societal roles, acting artificially and hiding their true selves behind a social mask. But what happens when we free ourselves from that mask and embrace authenticity? The Stoics teach us that authenticity is a path to true freedom. In Seneca's words, "No man is free who is not master of himself." True freedom lies in being oneself without fear of judgment. Authenticity allows us to free ourselves from the burden of pleasing others and live according to our principles. In a society that often pushes us to pursue love through external approval, authenticity becomes a guiding light. From a Stoic perspective, authenticity leads us to deeper and more meaningful relationships. When we are authentic, we attract people who value us for our true essence, not a fictitious version of ourselves. Authenticity also provides the strength to face challenges with dignity. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Nothing has such power to broaden the mind as the ability to investigate systematically and truly all that happens in the universe." From a Stoic viewpoint, self-knowledge begins with daily reflection on our actions, reactions, and emotions. This practice allows us to identify patterns and understand what drives us. Exploring our values is a fundamental part of self-knowledge, with the Stoics believing that virtue is the supreme value, and each person must define what it means for them. Identifying our automatic reactions in conflict or stressful situations is another aspect of self-knowledge. Introspection allows us to recognize these reactions and choose more conscious and value-aligned responses. A useful exercise from the Stoic perspective is maintaining a gratitude journal, noting what we value and what makes us authentic. This connects us with our true essence and helps us appreciate our uniqueness. Self-knowledge is not always a solitary path. Seeking the advice of a Stoic mentor or therapist can provide invaluable guidance in this journey of self-discovery. Embracing self-knowledge makes us more confident and authentic in our actions and relationships. In the words of Epictetus, "First, tell yourself what kind of person you want to be, and then act accordingly." If this video has inspired you to seek wiser and more meaningful love, we invite you to take the next step. Don't forget to subscribe and activate the notification bell. I sincerely hope that this message has been useful to you. I want to congratulate you greatly for having come this far and for having finished the video. That means that you want to improve as a person. If you liked the video, leave your comment. You don't know what to comment. Comment "I dare," so I know you made it to the end. If you are not yet subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? Subscribe now and join us. Thank you for your attention. Until next time, warrior.